All right, let's dive into the incredibly high-stakes world of the film Heaven's War. Now, this is a story that's really working on two completely different levels. You've got this intense political thriller on one hand, and then, boom, a full-on supernatural epic on the other. And it all crashes together in the life of just one guy.
Right at the beginning, the film basically hands us the key to understanding everything. This one quote, this is the entire premise. And it's not just some philosophical idea. In this movie, it's a literal law of the universe. It controls both the world we can see and the one we can't. You're going to want to keep this in the back of your mind as we break this whole thing down.
Okay, so to get our heads around this pretty complex plot, here's our roadmap. We're going to start in the familiar, kind of swampy corridors of Washington, D.C., then dig into a really dangerous conspiracy. And from there, we're crossing over into a whole new reality where the stakes are, well, infinitely higher. It's a journey from backroom political deals to a literal war for the soul.
So first things first, let's meet our main guy. This is freshman Senator Jonah Thomas. Everyone sees him as a real rising star. He's fresh off this huge win, he managed to block a tax increase, and he's kind of built this reputation as a man of principle, a fighter for the little guy. But in a place like DC, being a man of principle, well, that makes you a major threat.
And yep, this is exactly where the trouble kicks off. That victory speech might have played well with the public, but back in the Senate, it made some powerful people furious. Guys like Senator Rustin, who is now dead set on getting Jonah out of the picture. See, Jonah refuses to play ball, and that has put a giant target on his back.
So here are the key players tangled up in this political spiderweb. You've got Jonah, our idealist. Then there's Senator Rustin, who just wants him gone. You also have Senator Richards, who is pushing this massive and very controversial medical reform bill with everything he's got. And then there's Senator Baker. He's a former FBI agent, super slick, and he is playing a much, much deeper game than anybody knows.
So what starts as political maneuvering and backstabbing, well, it turns into something much darker, really fast. The plot against Jonah isn't just about torpedoing his career anymore. It's about forcing him to become part of a huge and, frankly, deadly conspiracy.
At the very heart of this whole thing is a vaccine, codenamed RZZ989. Now, on the surface, this thing looks like an absolute miracle cure for cancer. But the conspirators, they know the terrible truth. In a few patients, the cure doesn't last. The cancer comes roaring back, and this time it attacks the nervous system with a pain so bad it's described as feeling like you have third-degree burns all over your body. It literally drives people insane, and that is what they've hidden inside this big medical reform bill.
So to get their way, they cook up a plan. Step 1, lure Jonah into a trap, a so-called private meeting. Step 2 is the offer. They'll make all the political attacks stop, and they'll bail him out of his financial troubles. And the goal? It's simple. They need his vote, his reputation for integrity, to get their bill passed. The whole thing is set to go down at the abandoned Artesian Grand Hotel, where they think no one will be watching.
And now, we've reached the exact moment where the entire story just flips on its head. The political thriller we've been watching is about to get violently interrupted by something else entirely. Jonah thinks he's walking into a political ambush, but he has no clue what's really waiting for him.
So, up in the penthouse, the senators lay out their deal, and Jonah, being Jonah, is just about to tell them where to stick it. But what none of them realize is, they're not alone in the hotel. In another part of the building are two other guys, Colt and his father, who's a victim of the vaccine, and they've brought a bomb planning to expose the whole conspiracy with a bang. And then, everything just goes white. As FBI agents storm the hotel, the bomb goes off. Two separate plots, the senator's conspiracy and the bomber's plan for revenge, just collide in one single, catastrophic explosion. That's the first question Jonah asks when he comes to. He's not in the hotel anymore. There's no fire, no smoke. He's somewhere else. A place that feels both incredibly strange and peaceful, and he has absolutely no idea how he got there.
So Jonah's not dead, but he isn't really alive in the way he's always understood it either. He's been yanked out of the physical world and pulled into the spiritual realm, the real battlefield, that all his earthly problems were just a faint echo of.
It's here that the angel Gabriel breaks it all down for him. He explains that the world Jonah knew, it's all temporary. It's just a shadow. This place, this spiritual realm, this is the true reality. It's eternal. It's where all truth is finally laid bare. The war he thought he was fighting in the Senate? Man, that was nothing. This is the real deal.
Gabriel lays out the new rules of the game. This isn't about politics anymore. It's not about votes or bills. This is a battle for his eternal soul. And the enemies here aren't just senators with bad intentions. They're ancient, they're super intelligent, and they are masters of deception, followers of Satan who can look like anyone, all to lie and destroy. To really drive the point home, the movie gives us this incredible visual concept, the reckoning pole. Gabriel shows Jonah this. Think of it like a spiritual ledger of every single choice anyone has ever made. He sees how his own father's angry words left scars on him as a boy. He sees how a casual lie he told his wife over the phone actually caused his daughter real pain. Every single thing, good or bad, is recorded and has a ripple effect that goes on forever. So this war for Jonah's soul, it's not fought with bombs or political threats. No, it's fought with a series of incredibly clever, deeply personal temptations. They're designed to hit him right where he's weakest, to play on his deepest fears and desires.
And the enemy's strategy here is just brilliant and twisted. First, a demon shows up looking exactly like his beloved mother and tells him everything he desperately wants to believe, that there's no hell, that there are no real consequences, that God just wants him to be happy. Then, another one appears, this time disguised as Senator Baker, and offers him a shortcut to everything he's ever wanted: power, money, success. All he has to do is compromise, just this once.
But here's the thing. After seeing the truth on the reckoning pole, after finally getting what the real stakes are, Jonah sees right through it. He rejects the easy, comforting lies. He turns down the offer of worldly power. He decides to stand with the truth, no matter how hard it is. And that is his defining moment.
And that one spiritual choice, it sends massive, very real waves back into the physical world. It all comes back to that main theme, right? Every single action ripples out into eternity.
So, because of what he chose in that spiritual battle, Jonah is essentially reborn. He wakes up at the scene of the explosion, he's badly hurt, but he is alive. At that same moment, the data exposing the whole vaccine conspiracy gets leaked, completely destroying their plan. His mother passes away, but she goes peacefully. And Jonah, with this brand new perspective on what's real and what's not, immediately starts fixing the broken relationships in his life.
And that really brings us to the core message of the whole film. Heaven's War is basically saying that all the drama in our lives, our jobs, our money, our politics, it's all just an echo. It's the surface level stuff. And it's all a reflection of a much deeper, much more important spiritual war, where every single choice we make has eternal weight.
So the film leaves us with this huge question to chew on. If our whole physical world is just a shadow of what's really real, then where are our most important battles actually being fought? Is it out there in the boardrooms and on the Senate floor? Or is the real war, the one that truly matters, happening somewhere much deeper, inside our own hearts and souls?